Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a fun card. One of my subscribers sent me this card and as an example and said, I couldn't find a tutorial on it, and so I did one. It's kind of a fun, this is using the Crafter's Companion Vintage Rose collection, the papers and then the die as well, or the stamp and die. And then this is just a border die from Crafter's Companion. And then, so it opens like that. And then the second layer opens. And then you've got the back. You can put your message in here, or if you wanted to put it on the back, you could put it on the back. But it's actually super easy to make, fairly straightforward. And let me show you how it's done. So we start with the front of the card. And the basic card is essentially a 5x7. It's a 5x7 card. So a 5x7, just single piece of paper, not a card blank. And then I've got two strips that are 6 by 1.5, and I scored at 1 inch. And those are going to give me my two strips that come down like that. And then I've got my piece on the top, and this piece is 6 by 5.5. And on this one I used this border die. I'm going to try the border die that came with Vintage Rose and see what it looks like. And if it looks terrible, then I will cut a no piece of card and try again. But obviously this border die this is only 5.5 inches long, and this border die is 7 inches. So 6 by 5.5, and I'm going to score it 1/2 inch to create my 1/2 inch glue tab. So I'm going to put my die on like that, and I'm just going to put it right up against the edge, and on this end where that cutting edge is just basically right at the end of the cardstock. Okay, so like that, and like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and I'll worry about all the rest of this at the end. But I'm going to flip it over and do exactly the same thing. And I want to put it in about the same spot because I want these to be essentially even. So put it right about there. Okay, so now this is my front piece that's going to go here. So I've got to score it. Let me get my scoreboard in here. And I want to score it at 5 inches because the card is 5 inches tall. So we're going to score across at 5 inches. And I'm not too worried about scoring across all of those. So we're going to go ahead and fold that down right across like that. Now I'm going to trim this part away, just right there. And right here. Okay. And that gives me my front panel. Now, if you don't like how, that lace, if you think that that's too flimsy, or like on this one, because it's so small, it's not so bad, but this one's a lot wider. If you wanted to put a piece of acetate behind that, you could, or if you wanted to cut it again in like the pink, or just back it in pink, you could, just like that, or you could cut it again in pink and then just kind of, do a shadow layer. But I'm going to leave it like that to see how I like it. I may change my mind later, but you know how that goes. All right, so now we're going to start assembling our card. So we've got our little flaps. They're going to go on. And I put those on the front, and then I'm going to put my mats and layers over the top of them to kind of hide them. So let me get some tape glue on there and put them right up against the end and the bottom and the top, and you want them right on that edge, and then you can be guaranteed that they're straight too if you put it right up against the edge, and make sure you get them both opening on the same side, just like that. Then I've got some mats and layers. I'm going to put this on. Actually, this one's narrow enough. The other one I had to put on the back because it was wider than these, but this one is narrow enough. I think I'm going to go ahead and put that one on too. Yeah. If you use a narrower border, let me show you what I mean. So this one's narrow enough that, see, that edge doesn't fit inside of there, so I glued it on the back. If you don't like the looks of that, you can cover it with another piece of paper, or I could have trimmed it in enough that it would fit in between those two. But since this one's narrow enough that this glue flap fits in there, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the inside of the card, and then it will be covered completely, and the back of the card will be all nice and neat. So line it up on the top and try to get it even right about there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to go ahead, flip those up, and put my mats and layers on. As I said, this is linen cardstock and the printed paper pad from Crafter's Companion Vintage Rose collection. But see, if you cut these layers just shy of that 5x7, it almost completely covers those joins, so you don't even see that. I'm going to put my layers on these strips. Oh, I got a hummingbird on that one. Oops. I cut my hummingbird's wings off. I didn't notice that. Now I'm going to go ahead. I did my little panel. This is just the pink linen card. And then this is a Crafter's Companion panel die. It's some rose panel die. I can't remember from where, but I'm just going to put that on. And it just kind of spans across that gap and gives you some nice decoration on that layer, and gives the card a little more stability. So we'll go ahead and put that on like that. And remember just to put glue on the ends, not in this middle part. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and put our mat and layer on there. And I couldn't cut it because I didn't have my edgeable in there yet. So here's my piece of pink, and I want to measure that. So that's about 2.5. And obviously that's 5, so. And then I'm going to cut my little, this piece of card. Just go that way. Yeah. And this is going to go right on that front panel. Then I stamped and colored that the Vintage Rose Bouquet die, and I'm going to put that on the front, but you can see that it's too big. It won't fit, and I didn't want to put it sideways because then I think the flowers look funny. So what I'm going to do is I obviously left those because I'm going to cut those off. So we'll just do a little bit of surgery on our die. So we'll just fussy cut around that top to make it fit. So I just cut those leaves off, and now it fits. Okay. And I'm going to put those on, add on with some foam pads. And because my edgeable die is so wide, I want to make sure and get those foam pads just where the actual cardstock is, not on the lace. That's why I didn't put the foam pads all the way out. I put them right. Oh, I got that one a little bit off, but you want to get it on the cardstock, not on here, because then it'll glue underneath. Okay, so there's the front of my card. I'm really liking that edgeable a lot. And then on this one I did the pink with the green writing, and I didn't like that pink on pink, so I did it on the green with the pink, and I like that one better. So we're going to do it that way. And again, we're going to use I'll just use my 3D glue gel. And we're just going to put that up. And you can put any sentiment you want, but I liked putting the sentiment. You could put it on the front, but I kind of liked putting it here. Although now I got to be careful that I don't push it down because I use glue gel. But that's it. Fairly simple. So this is using the Vintage Rose edgeable. This is using a different edgeable that I found. I was trying to look for one that would end, right at that 5-inch mark. And this one kind of worked pretty well for that. But then since I was using Vintage Rose for everything else, I wanted to try and use the Vintage Rose edgeable. And I do like the look of that lacy edgeable. But, and I definitely like the green with the background with the pink better. I think it looks better than the pink on pink. I may peel that one off and redo it. But other than that, their cards are very similar. So pretty easy to make, but just a little bit different with the multi-layers of opening. So thanks for watching.